Follow your passion. You've heard this your whole life, right? From teachers, parents, graduation speeches, those corny motivational posts, and it sounds perfect, like the golden ticket to success. But here's the problem. Most people don't have one. Not at 18, not at 25, not even at 35. So instead of building anything, they sit around waiting for some lightning bolt moment. And while they're waiting, they're losing years. And let's say you do find something you're passionate about. Guess what? The second you turn it into work, it changes. That fun hobby becomes deadlines, clients, stress. Suddenly, your passion feels more like pressure. The truth? Passion isn't something you follow. It's something you build. You get good at something. You see yourself improving. And that progress? That's what creates passion. Nobody is passionate about the gym on day one. But 6 months in, when you're lifting twice as much weight, boom, now you care. So, if you've been feeling lost because you don't have a passion yet, that's not failure. That's normal. The real failure is believing the lie and waiting around for passion to magically find you. The winners don't wait, they build. And passion shows up later, once there's proof you're actually getting somewhere. Just hustle. We've all been sold the same garbage slogan. If you just hustle harder, everything will work out. And for a while, you probably believed it. I did too. So you push yourself. You wake up earlier, stay up later, answer emails at midnight, sacrifice weekends, birthdays, even your health. You tell yourself, it's fine. This is the grind. This is what winners do. And then, nothing. You're still broke, still stressed, still wondering why your life looks exactly the same. Here's the scam. Hustle worships effort like it's the only ingredient. But effort without leverage is useless. It's like digging with a spoon while someone else brought an excavator. You can sweat all you want. They're still going to finish first. And yet hustle culture makes you feel guilty for resting. Like if you're not working 14-hour days, you're falling behind. Falling behind who? That guy on Instagram bragging about being up at 3 a.m., conveniently leaving out that his parents pay his rent? Yeah, real role model. Let me be clear. I'm not saying hard work doesn't matter. Of course it does. Hustle is fuel. It gets you moving. But without direction, without leverage, without strategy, it just burns you out faster. The truth is, you don't succeed by adding hours. You succeed by multiplying results. One person hustles 12 hours, makes $100. Another hustles 4 hours, builds a system that makes $100 while they sleep. Who really won? So stop worshiping hustle like it's holy. Work hard, yes, but work smart, aim your energy, and protect it like it's gold. Because hustle alone doesn't guarantee success. It just guarantees you'll be tired when you fail. Stay busy. We've been tricked into believing that being busy is the same thing as being successful. Your calendar's packed, your inbox is overflowing, and you're running around like your hair's on fire. So you must be crushing it, right? Nope. You're just distracted with better branding. Busy is a drug. It gives you the illusion of progress while quietly stealing the only resource you can't get back. Focus. You feel productive because you crossed 27 things off your list. But deep down, you know none of them actually mattered. Here's the brutal truth. Successful people aren't busy. They're selective. They're ruthless with their time. They say no to 99% of things so they can pour everything into the 1% that actually moves the needle. Meanwhile, most of us treat our time like it's unlimited. We answer every message, attend every meeting, chase every shiny idea, and then wonder why nothing ever compounds. Busyness is comforting because it feels like effort. But effort in the wrong direction is just treadmill work. You're sweating, but you're not going anywhere. So next time you catch yourself saying, I'm so busy, ask, busy with what? Busy proving you can sprint in circles? Or busy building something that actually outlives the chaos? Because here's the reality. The most dangerous place isn't being behind. It's being busy in the wrong direction and only realizing it when you're out of time. Dream big. You've been told your whole life, dream big, shoot for the stars. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Sounds motivational until you realize dreaming big is one of the fastest ways to stay stuck. Here's why. Big dreams feel good. They give you a dopamine rush just imagining them. You picture the mansion, the business, the book deal, and for a moment, your brain feels like it's already there. But then reality slaps you in the face because you still don't know what to do today. Big dreams without small execution are just daydreams. They trick you into feeling accomplished while you're literally standing still. It's like staring at the summit of Everest while refusing to take the first step. Think about the people you admire. They didn't sit around dreaming big. They started small, relentlessly. Amazon was a garage with books. Apple was 2 guys in a basement. Even athletes? They weren't dreaming about Olympic gold on day one. They were just trying to shave a second off their time. The problem with dream big is that it skips the grind. It makes you chase perfection instead of progress. It makes you feel like you're failing if you're not already living the fantasy. Here's the truth. Small, boring, unsexy wins stacked daily will get you further than big dreams ever will. Don't dream big. Build small. Because castles aren't dreamed into existence. They're laid brick by brick. Learn more. We've all been tricked into thinking the smartest people are the ones who know the most. The lie goes like this. If I just read another book, watch another course, listen to another podcast, then I'll finally be ready. Sounds productive, right? But here's the trap. Learning becomes procrastination dressed up as self-improvement. You feel like you're making progress, but you're actually hiding. Think about it. How many times have you highlighted a whole book, underlined every life-changing sentence, only to close it and do absolutely nothing different? You don't have a knowledge problem. You have an application problem. The world doesn't reward how much you know. It rewards what you do with what you know. That's why the person who reads one book and actually applies it will always beat the person who reads 50 and takes no action. And here's the kicker. Chasing more and more knowledge actually makes you less confident. You become paralyzed by options, drowning in ideas, never committing to one. Suddenly, you're convinced you need just one more course before you start. Spoiler, you'll never feel ready. High performers don't obsess over learning more. They obsess over extracting one idea and executing it until it works. So stop worshiping knowledge like it's the finish line. Knowledge is potential. Action is proof. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares what you've learned. They only care what you've built. Wait patiently. Since you were a kid, you've heard the same advice. Good things come to those who wait. Teachers said it. Parents said it. Even motivational posters said it, usually with a picture of a sunset. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Waiting doesn't bring success. Action does. Patience is useful if you've already planted seeds, but most people use waiting as an excuse for doing nothing. They're not being patient. They're stalling, hoping opportunity will knock on their door like Amazon Prime. Think about it. How many people do you know who've been waiting for the right time? Waiting to feel ready? Waiting until they have more money, more skills, more confidence? Newsflash. If you're always waiting, the right time never shows up. The most successful people? They don't wait. They create urgency. They launch when it's messy, when it's scary, when it's half-baked. Because momentum beats patience every single time. Yes, patience matters when you're already moving, when you're letting results compound, when you're grinding through the boring middle. But patience without progress is just a polite word for procrastination. Here's the shift. Stop asking, when will it happen for me? And start asking, what can I force into motion today? Because success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act so much so often that patience becomes a byproduct, not the plan. Talent wins. We love the myth of talent, the idea that some people are just born special, unnatural. It's comforting, right? Because if they're destined to win, then you don't even have to try. You can just say, well, I wasn't born with it, and go back to Netflix. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Talent is overrated. Skills look like talent only after thousands of invisible reps. Think about it. Everyone called Kobe Bryant a natural. But the man was in the gym at 4 a.m., shooting until his fingers bled. Mozart practiced since age 3. The Beatles played 10,000 hours in grimy bars before anyone called them geniuses. What we label as talent is usually consistency in disguise. People only notice once the success is shiny, but they never see the boring grind that made it possible. The talent wins lie is dangerous because it makes you quit before you start. You look at someone ahead of you and think, they're just built different. Wrong. They're built from habits you never see. And here's the kicker. Being talented can actually trap people. The kid who was naturally smart in school often crashes later because they never learned grit. Meanwhile, the average kid who built work ethic, they lap everyone. So stop worshiping talent like it's magic. Talent gets you a head start. Discipline wins the race. Because in the real world, the consistent grinder will always beat the gifted quitter. Play fair. Since kindergarten, you've been told, play fair, share, wait your turn. Good things happen to good people. That might work in a classroom. But in the real world, playing fair doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees you'll get outpaced by people who know the game better. Here's the problem. Most people confuse fair with safe. They play by imaginary rules, hoping life works like a board game where everyone follows the instructions. But business, careers, even relationships, they're messy, unfair, and full of people bending rules you didn't even know existed. Think about it. The straight A student who never broke a rule often ends up working for the C student who wasn't afraid to take risks. The employee who waited their turn for a promotion passed over by the one who asked for it directly. Playing fair makes you predictable. Predictable makes you invisible. Now, this doesn't mean you should cheat or screw people over. That backfires fast. But the winners know how to play bold. They ask for what they want, they negotiate, they bend outdated rules and create new ones. Fairness feels noble, but it's often just fear dressed up nice. The world isn't keeping score of who followed the rules best. It's rewarding the ones who dared to push past them. So stop obsessing over playing fair. Play smart. Play brave. Because life doesn't hand trophies to the most obedient. It hands them to the ones who made their own rules. Be perfect. From day one, you were trained to chase gold stars. Don't make mistakes. Don't mess up. Color inside the lines and life will reward you. That conditioning creates the most dangerous lie of all. Success comes from being perfect. Here's the truth. Perfection kills progress. It keeps you polishing drafts instead of publishing. It makes you rewrite the email 12 times instead of hitting send. It convinces you to wait until it's ready, which usually means never. Think about the most successful people you know. Do you really think they got there by being flawless? They got there by shipping messy work, learning fast, and improving in public. Jeff Bezos' first Amazon site looked like a high school project. Early YouTube videos of top creators? Cringe, but they pressed upload anyway. The perfection lie is seductive because it feels safe. If you're perfecting, you can't be criticized. Nobody can reject work you never share. But that safety comes with a hidden cost: invisibility. Meanwhile, the imperfect doer, the one posting rough drafts, trying experiments, looking a little dumb, they're the ones compounding experience. They're the ones getting noticed. Here's the harsh truth. Perfect never scales. Done does. So stop worshiping perfection like it's a badge of honor. Start chasing progress, not polish. Success. Linear school tricked you into believing success is a straight line. Ace your grades, enter college, secure a stable job, rise through the ranks, and retire fulfilled. Neat, predictable, comforting, and completely fake. In real life, success is messy. It zigzags, it stalls, it collapses, then rebuilds in a direction you never planned. And the crazy part? That chaos isn't a detour. It is the path. But the success is linear lie makes you panic. The second life doesn't go according to script. You fail a class, lose a job, miss a promotion, and suddenly you feel broken, like you've ruined the timeline. You didn't. You just hit the part nobody talks about. Think about the people you admire. Entrepreneurs who flopped 3 businesses before hitting 1. Artists rejected dozens of times before being discovered. Athletes cut from teams before making history. If success were linear, none of them would have made it. So stop fantasizing about the castle. Start laying bricks, because the people who dream big often stay dreamers, and the ones who build small become the ones everyone else dreams about.